Welcome to SATI Learning. Today we will deep dive into project reports. So first we will look into what are the different type of project reports available. So most of the organization have their own template for project reports. In addition to that, the project manager and the team has their own format. So each report takes own time to collect information, write, read and maintain and act on the action items. So here the problem area is collecting the information from different stakeholders of the project actually. So that is the very time consuming work for generating the project reports. So based on my experience, I came up with the important reports required in the project. So I will also explain. So what is the purpose of the different type of project reports and what are the important aspects we need to cover in that report. So we can categorize into 5 different reports actually. So one is the project status report, second one is risk register, the third one is issues log, fourth one is performance report, the fifth one is executive summary report. Let's go into individual topics one by one. So the first one is project status report. So what is project status reports and why we are using this? How it's adding the value to the projects? So what should be included in a project status report? This is a question to which there is no right answer. So based on the project and based on the product and based on the size of the team and based on the criticality of the project, based on the organization structure, so this will vary company to company actually, but we will go through what will be the ideal structure of the project status report in this tutorial. So the project status report prepared on every week. So mostly we will be sending to the client on every Friday in some organization, and they will have a meeting on every Monday. So as per my experience, they are mostly they will send the report to all the stakeholders on Thursday evening, and the meeting will be held on every Friday actually. Writing a project status report should be a quick and easy. Keep the status precise, clear, and need to ensure it provides the high value view for top management. This is very important actually. Okay, so we should give right status of the project on the weekly basis. You should also cover the information which can be understandable by team members and other manager who is part of the program. So like here like stakeholder is important actually. The stakeholder will be the customer and the stakeholder will be higher management within the organization. So the stakeholder will be a team member and the other managers who is part of the program. So like we need to make sure like all the stakeholders have the access to the project status report. The status report should answer the below questions. The first one is, where do things currently stand in the project? So what is the current status? For example, like we can put a milestone in our project status report, and we can provide the status actually. So what is the current status of the requirement gathering? What is the current status of the development activity? So what is the current status of the increment deployment status? So like that, like we can give the current status where we are standing and what work planned for next week. So here we should have the clear picture of what is the current status of the activities which we are working, and what is the planned activities for the future actually. So third one, so what are the obstacles we are facing in this project? So it may be a resource problem, or it may be like environment problem. So what are the integration related problems? So other team is not ready to integrate our code actually. So what are the obstacles we are facing in the projects? And what are the key metrics of the project? For example, like risk, milestone, productivity, quality, deliverable, cost, and resource utilization. So like based on my experience, we will have a red, green, amber icons in the project report in the top corner actually. So we will have categorized into three different areas. The first one is scope, second one is schedule, the third one is cost. So this triangle, so what is the current status? So is green, amber or red? So this itself will provide the current picture to the higher management and the client actually. When we mention we are the delivery side, we are in red. So first question what they like is what is happened to the our release plan. Okay, are we facing any problem? So please concentrate on that first. So the attention will go to everyone on this status actually. So the schedule, cost, and release. So the second type of the project status report is the risk register. So the risk is very important for any project. So particularly the project manager responsible to manage the risk and provide the status to the stakeholders. So the risk register is another important report you want to create. So the risks are always blow up in your project. So the risk register identifies those risks, quantifies and the potential negative impact they could occur in your project, and it provides the mitigation and the contingency plan for the identified risk. So the what is project risk? Project risk is an uncertain event or condition that will occur in a project actually. So we need to identify what are the risks we are going to face in our project, and we need to come up with the like next slide I will explain more. So we need to address those risks and provide the status to the higher officials. So the risk management focuses on identifying and assessing the risk to the project and managing those risks to minimize the impact on the project actually. So the risk may occur in resource or like cost or schedule or scope, or it may be anything actually. So it may occur in any area of the project. So we need to identify the impact of the risk and minimize the impact of the risk. So that will lead to the success of the project. So like there are 4 different ways to manage the risk. So we can avoid the risk, or we can mitigate the risk, we can transfer the risk, and we can accept the risk. So like I will try to put different tutorial for risk management. So what risk register should contain? So the status report should answer the below questions. So what the risk description about the risk actually, and categorize the risk. So as I told you, like risk may be because of resource, customer, project, tools, technologies, or third party. Anything actually, like any other risk. Infrastructure also may be a risk. And probability. So what is the probability of risk? High, low impact. And what is the impact of the risk? For example, like when we take if you're like a technical lead going on vacation for a month due to some personal reason, so the impact of the risk is high. But if a developer is going on leave for a month due to some personal reason, so the impact will be low actually. So we can replace the developer with some other developer with small transition plan. So but when the architect or lead who will be going on leave for some reason for long period, so that will have a major impact to the risk actually, to the project. So probability. So the project impact due to cyclone may be less, because like cyclone, when we plan for a cyclone impacting the project, right, so it may not occur, correct, but resource kind of issues or integration kind of issues, the probability will be high actually, so based on our experience. So priority. So like when we have a multiple risk, so which we need to prioritize the risk actually, and we need to identify the root cause. So then only we will know the solution for how to solve the risk and how to mitigate the risk. And what is the anticipated impact of the risk? Mitigation plan. Mitigation plan is the reduce the probability of the impact of the identified risk. So here we are reducing the probability for the risk actually. Contingency plan. So this is a plan to control the impact as risk event looks like occurring. So like so when we know that like the integration is not happening with some third party application, so we are about to complete the development and do the integration testing, correct? So that time the risk will we clearly know that like risk will happen actually. So that time we need to create a contingency plan to control the impact of the risk. So we need to come up with alternative solution and have a meeting with team and inform our top management to talk to the third party team and give importance to this actually, because like this may impact the release. And status. So what is the status of the risk analysis in monitoring, occurring and mitigated. And the last one is the due date of the risk. So when we need to close this risk. So this is the risk register. So the risk register may be a part of status report and executive summary report. So we will go to the third report. So that is the issue log. The issue log report contains the risk or unexpected event occurred. For example, the risk, there may be a chance of a resource may not be recruited to replace the resource who is moving out, and this will delay the deliverable. So now we need to understand what is the difference between the risk and issue actually. So the risk is we are anticipating there will be an uncertainty occur in our project, will occur in our project actually. So the issue is the risk is occurred, so we are started facing the problem. So like we are created the risk, for example, like if you are in the January month, March month, like we need to replace 4 team member in our team because like they are moving out of the organization. But we are in the last week of February, but the resources are not replaced, or like we are not identifying a replacement resource. So then that risk will be converted as a issue actually, okay, because that risk is occurred. So the issue is now impacting the project, and it's impacting the project deliverables. So because of this, there will be a delay in our deliverables. So like as I mentioned earlier, like we can maintain three different category in our issue, or like risk, or like project status or anything, that we call it as a traffic lights actually. We can mark that as a red, green, yellow, or amber, yellow or like orange color actually. So when it's marked as a red, we cannot proceed before the issue is resolved. When it is yellow, the resolution in progress and you will be able to proceed soon. So green, resolution implemented, the issue no longer exists. But the important point is, because of this traffic light is mentioned as a green, it's not saying that we will make the deliverable as per the plan actually. Because in our example, like when the team is not replaced by the end of February month, so like replacing the resource will take 4-member team will take assume like 1 more month. So there will be a 100% there will be a delay in our project actually. Okay, but the issue wise its status is changed to green because we have identified the resource. So with the delay of 3 months, instead of identifying a resource in January month, we are identifying the resource in the end of February month actually. So what is the issue log contains? First one is issue description and reference ID. So because like when we are using the software within our organization to track the issues and logs, so we can give the reference ID actually. So that will be the risk reference because the risk is converted as a issue. And the third one is category. So it may be like a technical issue or business process issue and change management issue, because like when we are in the middle of the development, like customer is coming up with changes actually. And resource related issue and third party related issues like vendor management, supplier and other outside party and integration related issues. So what is the impact of the issue, like how the issue is impacting our project? High, medium, low. And urgency, high, medium, low. And responsible party, who is responsible for the issue actually. So like project manager will be the responsible, but the issue will be assigned to some other person. For example, like HR will be working on identifying the replacement for the resource actually, but project manager is responsible for that project. So what is the action taken and what is the current status? So in progress or closed, like that actually. And what is the due date? So now we will go to the fourth type of the project report. So that is, we call it as a project performance report. So what is the performance? So the project performance has to be observed and measured regularly and consistently to identify the variances from the project management plan. So for example, like when we create a project, so we will have the milestone actually. So against the milestone, how we are progressing, that is the one kind of project performance report. And when we are working on the agile project, so we will have the velocity. So like velocity is the measuring point for team's performance. So the velocity chart will be the one example. And so the performance, like how team is working on creating a reusability tools, how team is working on implementing the design patterns. So those will improve the performance. So the project performance report contains accomplishments for the reported period along with what accomplishments are not completed against the plan. So the first one is compare with plan what we accomplished, what we have not accomplished, that is the one. And the second one is what are the business value additions we are providing to the customer. So two different major categories involved in this project performance report. So if any work package are not completed, identify the root cause and provide the impact to upcoming milestone or overall project status and status in this report actually. So like we have to provide the if we are not able to deliver one milestone, and we need to provide the root cause and how it's impacting our milestone, and so what is the action we have taken to bring the project on track. Record the identified actions needed to make up the schedule variance or prevent future schedule variance. So like that, what as I mentioned you, like what is the work package what we are not working and not delivering as per the plan, and what is the root cause, what is the action identified, how we are going to resolve this issue, and how we are preventing this in the future actually. So record funds spent this period and variance. So like what is the cost allocated to the project, and how we are using the fund, and what is the variance. For example, like if a project team having a structure of 8-member team, and which has one project lead and 2 testers and 5 developers. So this is the project team structure, and that is the fund allocated, and based on that we are going to get the 20% profit margin. So instead of this, due to the technical complexity or like over committed to the customer, we are adding one more developer to the team. So that will reduce the profit of the project actually. So those kind of information we need to mention in project performance report. So as I mentioned you, like cost variance indicate impact of the overall project budget, or whether contingency funds must be expanded. So like we also should have a contingency fund to handle the risk and issues actually. So list of all work packages or accomplishments scheduled for completion next period. So like the project performance will be measured on 3 different categories. One is scope, what is the planned versus actual. So second one is what is the cost planned versus actual, and third one is schedule. So what is the planned versus actual. So these are the 3 major must points we need to capture in the performance report. Addition to that, we need to include resource and quality and risk. These 3 triangles also we should include in the project performance report. So like as I mentioned you, like risk we need to capture in the project performance report. Issues also we need to identify and capture in the project performance report, because like it's impacting the deliverable of the report actually. So the last one is the executive summary report. So what is the executive summary report? So executive summary report is the unique and written in different way compare with other reports. So like we can say like executive summary is the report which we will provide to the higher management and the sponsor actually. So this will be the conclusion of whatever we discussed earlier, because like the higher management will not have time to go through the granular level of the project status. So they want to see the overall project status, whether it's a green, amber or red. So executive summary report is the high level report that presents the status of the project or the program, and what are the achievements, what are the challenges faced, what are the lessons we learned, and what are the benefit we yield actually. For example, like the project is going in a good way, and like customer is asking us to give one more proposal for enhancing the project. So that are the achievements, the benefit from the project actually. And if we are getting some positives here, there will be additional cost to the team project, and we will expand the team, correct? So that and all we can mention here. So how the project fits in the portfolio strategies and how it helps the bottom line of the organization, because like each project or a program or a product should help the organization, should provide the benefit to the organization actually. Okay, so that we need to capture here, and this will also help us like how we can develop the rapport with the customer, and how we can get new projects from the customer based on the success of the earlier projects. So keep the objective of the project and the realistic status of the project. So here we need to have a crisp and clear project objective and the status of the project actually. So next we will see like what are the points we need to cover in the executive summary report. So the first one is project information, that is the like short project description, and problems we are facing, and solutions for the problem, and so who are the target audience for this executive summary report, and competitive analysis, like when we are working on the product, so we need to provide the competitive analysis. So based on that we need to prioritize our user stories, and project schedule, budget analysis, and revenue forecast. So for example, like we have submitted our billing to the customer, and they have not approved because they have some questions related to the cost actually. So that kind of points we need to mention, because if revenue is not recognized, then you will get a notification from the revenue team, finance team. And go to market strategy, so the implement or rollout plan, those kind of details we need to provide here. So implementation plan and support plan, like this is after implementation, so what is the support plan or a warranty plan which we are providing, or the service. So there will be a team which will be working on like taking the tickets and working as per the SLA actually. Those kind of information we can provide here. So if there is any violation against the SLA which impacted our project, like it means like customer escalation, so kind of things we can include in executive summary report. So that's it, like majorly we have covered all the type of reports in a project as per my experience. So like if you have any new ideas, so it's always welcome. So please subscribe my channel, and please like and share my channel with your friends. Please support us.